Hi, Jeff Marion again. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This week we're going to talk about Zantac. You may have heard that Zantac has been recalled and taken off the shelves, and you may have heard about lawsuits involving Zantac. This video is going to tell you all about that and what you can do. Also, this channel is here to help you understand how to navigate a personal injury lawsuit. If you're injured by an unsafe product, you can contact me. And if you want to learn more about lawsuits involving unsafe products or personal injury for that matter, click on the subscribe button that you're going to see in the corner. It's got my logo on it, and then you can see these videos every Sunday. I'm an experienced trial lawyer who's been practicing for over 25 years. For all that time, I've been fighting for people who've been injured in car crashes, in truck crashes, in falls, or by unsafe products. So let's talk about Zantac. This is the first drug with $1 billion in sales. And what it is it's an antacid that blocks the histamines in your stomach to prevent you from producing more stomach acid. It will also lower the acidity of your stomach acid to stop that burn that's coming up out of your stomach and into your esophagus that causes heartburn. A company called GlaxoSmithKline obtained FDA approval for Zantac in 1983. The generic version, known as ranitidine, was approved in 1997 by the FDA. In September of 2019, the Food and Drug Administration announced a recall of both Zantac and ranitidine due to low levels of something called NDMA that was present in the drug. At that time, the FDA didn't call for consumers to stop taking the drug, whether you took it over the counter or on a prescription, but to consider alternatives. It wasn't until April 2020 that the FDA required recall of all Zantac and ranitidine products, and that's why you can't find them on the shelves. One of the problems with Zantac is that there's a design defect. As the drug breaks down in your stomach, it combines with your own nitrates to form NDMA. We'll get to what NDMA is in a minute, but also there's a defect in that the NDMA is formed as the pill breaks down due to exposure through light or heat sources. So as it sits on the shelf in the pharmacy or at the grocery store, that NDMA is forming in the drug. Okay, so you've heard me talk all about NDMA. What is it? Well, the EPA and the Food and Drug Administration have classified NDMA as a known carcinogen. It's got two uses, and you're never going to believe what those two main uses are. The first is rocket fuel. The second is that it is used to introduce tumors into animals for lab experiments. Yes, you heard me right. Rocket fuel and injected into lab animals to give them cancer. And this is in your antacid. The FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, limits exposure to 96 nanograms per day. Now, they did a study at Stanford University, and they found people that took Zantac or ranitidine products averaged 47,600 nanograms of NDMA. That is over 400 times the daily limit recommended by the government. So the question of whether you have a case or not depends on the type of cancer that someone in your life or you are suffering from. The main ones are prostate cancer in men under the age of 69, pancreatic cancer, esophageal cancer, stomach cancer, and also breast cancer. But with breast cancer, let me give you one caveat. It has to be a ductal carcinoma. That's generally where the epidemiological studies are going. Now, those cancers that I've just described to you are the ones where the science seems to be pointing in the direction that NDMA, as broken down from Zantac, will have caused that cancer. There is also some evidence that liver cancer and bladder cancer are also caused by exposure to NDMA. You would think that colorectal cancer would be in this group of cancers and would be an obvious one to pursue. However, there's no ranitidine-specific epidemiological studies that prove that link as of right now. The support for that cancer is kind of tenuous. Now, you can also potentially recover if you have kidney or lung cancer. But obviously the big caveat with lung cancer is this is in non-smokers only. If you've taken Zantac or ranitidine and you have any of these cancers that we've put up on the screen, contact my office. You can do that by calling me at 716-481-7309. You can email me at the address below. You can also message me at my Facebook page, facebook.com/JeffMarionLaw, and I'll sit down with you for free and evaluate your case. If you want more information about these Zantac lawsuits or about other dangerous drugs or unsafe products, or even just general questions about personal injury, subscribe to this channel. We've got new videos out every Sunday. You can also leave your questions in the comments section below, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. So share this video with your friends. Okay, so what if you do have a case? How does it all work? We're going to talk about that in next week's video, where we'll start to navigate the process of one of these suits in a Zantac case or ranitidine case or any dangerous drug for that matter. And if you want more information about Zantac or any dangerous drug or an unsafe product, or even if you have general questions about personal injury law, put them in the comments below and I'll check them out and I'll answer them for you. Also, subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with your friends on social media, and we'll see you next week.